Father's Day heroes. The many ways dads save the day. It's not fair, Lucas complained, kicking at a pebble on the sidewalk. All the other kids have dads who are real heroes. His friend Mia looked up from her drawing. They were sitting on her front porch on a warm June afternoon, a week before Father's Day. What do you mean, real heroes? Lucas sighed heavily. You know, like Ethan's dad who's a firefighter, or Zoe's dad who's a doctor and saves lives. My dad just works at an office and fixes things around the house. He's not a hero like that. That's not true. Mia frowned. There are lots of ways to be a hero. Easy for you to say. Lucas muttered. Your dad builds robots. Mia was about to respond when a strange little blue bird with unusually bright eyes landed on the railing beside them. It chirped 3 times, cocked its head as if listening, then flew away, leaving behind a small, shiny coin. What's that? Lucas asked as Mia picked it up. The coin gleamed silver with strange symbols etched into its surface. As Mia turned it over in her palm, the symbols began to glow with a warm golden light. Whoa! Both children exclaimed as the light expanded outward, surrounding them in a golden sphere. What's happening? Lucas gasped, but before Mia could answer, the light faded, and they found themselves standing in a completely different place. They were in what looked like a control room, with screens of all sizes showing different scenes. Homes, workplaces, parks, and streets. People of all ages moved through these scenes, going about their daily lives. Welcome to the Hero Watch headquarters, announced a cheerful voice. The children turned to see a tall figure approaching. He wore a simple uniform with a badge that displayed a stylized H and had kind eyes that crinkled at the corners when he smiled. Who are you? Lucas asked, backing up slightly. And where are we? I'm Captain Callum, Director of Dad Division, the man said with a bow. And you're in the headquarters where we monitor and record all hero activity across the world. Dad Division, Maya repeated. Captain Callum nodded. We have many divisions. Mom Division, Teacher Vision, Friend Division, and so on. But since Father's Day is coming up, I thought you might be particularly interested in seeing what we do here in Dad Division. Lucas looked skeptical. You watch dads. Why? To document their heroism, of course. Captain Callum gestured to the screens. Every act of bravery, large or small, is recorded here. Follow me, and I'll show you. He led them past dozens of screens, each showing different fathers going about their days. He stopped at one showing a man in business attire sitting at a desk, looking tired as he worked on a computer. This is Arthur Chen, Captain Callum explained. He's working extra hours to finish a project, so he take next weekend off to attend his daughter's dance recital. Lucas shrugged. That's just working. How is that being a hero? Captain Callum smiled thoughtfully. Perhaps we need to see more examples. Come this way. He brought them to another screen showing a father teaching his child to ride a bike, running alongside and holding the back of the seat until the child gained confidence. That's Marcus Williams, said Captain Callum. He's been working with his son every day for 3 weeks, even though he's exhausted from his construction job. His son has some balance issues and gets frustrated easily, but Marcus never gives up or loses patience. Lucas watched as the father on the screen caught his son just before he would have fallen, then gently encouraged him to try again. That's nice. But let's keep going. Captain Callum interrupted, leading them to another screen. This one showed a father sitting at a kitchen table with his children, helping them with homework while dinner cooked on the stove. This is David Ruiz, Captain Callum said. He's been raising 3 children on his own since his wife passed away 2 years ago. He works full-time, handles all the household chores, and still makes sure he spends quality time with each child every day. Lucas was quiet, watching as the father on the screen checked one child's math problems, listened to another practicing a speech, and comforted the youngest who seemed upset about something. And here, Captain Callum continued, moving to yet another screen. Here's James Foster. He's teaching his daughter how to change a tire, explaining each step patiently even though it's raining and they're getting soaked. They moved from screen to screen, seeing fathers in countless different situations, coaching sports teams, reading bedtime stories, bandaging scraped knees, teaching life skills, working long hours at difficult jobs, standing up for their children, creating safe and loving homes. But none of these dads are doing anything extraordinary, Lucas said, though with less certainty now. They're just doing regular dad stuff. Captain Callum's eyes twinkled. Are they? Let me show you something special. He led them to a large table in the center of the room. With a wave of his hand, a holographic image appeared above the table. A 3D map of a neighborhood that looked familiar to Lucas. This is your neighborhood, Captain Callum confirmed. And this, he zoomed in on one house, is your home, Lucas. The image shifted to show the inside of Lucas's house. There was his father, Robert, standing in the kitchen preparing dinner, while simultaneously helping Lucas's younger sister with a craft project. Let's look at your dad's hero file, Captain Callum said, tapping the air beside the hologram. A glowing folder appeared, and pages began to flip through it automatically. Robert Miller, Captain Callum read, wakes up at 5:30 a.m. each day to prepare breakfast for the family and pack lunches before heading to his job as an accountant. Uses his lunch breaks to call home and check on his children. Has never missed a parent, teacher conference, or school performance despite work pressures. Taught Lucas to swim, ride a bike, and tie shoes. Spends every Sunday afternoon playing board games with the family. Lucas's favorite activity. Lucas's eyes widened as the pages continued to turn, revealing hundreds of entries. June 15th, last year, Captain Callum read, stayed up all night to finish a work project, then still woke up early to make heart-shaped pancakes for Lucas's sister's birthday. April 3rd, stayed calm when Lucas broke his falling from a tree. Told jokes all the way to the hospital to keep Lucas from being scared. December 24th, spent 6 hours assembling a bicycle after working overtime all week. Lucas swallowed hard. My dad did all that. And much more. Captain Callum nodded. Would you like to see something really special? Without waiting for an answer, he led them to a secure door at the back of the room. After pressing his palm to a scanner, the door slid open to reveal a vast vault, filled with glowing jars of all sizes. This is the Hero Essence Vault, Captain Callum explained. Each jar contains the essence of heroism collected from acts of courage, sacrifice, and love. He walked down an aisle marked Father Heroes and stopped in front of a medium-sized jar that glowed with a steady, warm light. The label read, Robert Miller Baugh. This is your father's hero essence, Lucas, Captain Callum said gently. It may not flash or spark dramatically like some. He nodded toward some larger jars that pulsed with vibrant colors. But notice how steady and bright it burns. Lucas stared at the jar, mesmerized by the warm glow. What does that mean? It means your father's heroism isn't about grand, occasional gestures. It's about consistent, reliable love and support every single day. That kind of quiet heroism is often the most powerful of all. Captain Callum picked up the jar and handed it to Lucas. As soon as his fingers touched the glass, Lucas gasped. Suddenly, he could feel everything his father felt. The bone, deep exhaustion after long workdays, but the determination to still play catch in the backyard. The worry about bills, but the decision to use the bonus money for Lucas's science camp instead of the new tools he needed. The pride watching Lucas learn and grow. The fierce love that made every sacrifice worthwhile. Tears welled in Lucas's eyes as he carefully handed the jar back to Captain Callum. "Do you understand now?" Captain Callum asked quietly. Lucas nodded, unable to speak. "Different heroes wear different capes," Captain Callum said, returning the jar to its place. "Some wear firefighter uniforms or doctor's coats. Others wear business suits or work clothes with grass stains from playing in the yard. Some heroes rush into burning buildings. Others pack a special note in a lunchbox every day to make a child smile at school." As they left the vault, Mia tugged on Captain Callum's sleeve. "Can we see my dad's hero essence too?" Captain Callum smiled. "I think it's time for you both to go home now. But remember what you've learned here today." The golden light began to surround them again, growing brighter until they had to close their eyes. When they opened them, they were back on Maya's porch, as if they'd never left. The blue bird was gone, but the coin remained in Mia's hand for just a moment before dissolving into a shower of tiny lights that floated away on the breeze. "Did that really happen?" Maya whispered. Lucas nodded slowly. "I think it did." Over the next few days, Lucas began to notice things he'd overlooked before. How his father always asked about his day and really listened to the answer. How he fixed things around the house so their home would be safe and comfortable. How he helped with homework and taught valuable skills. How he worked hard at his job to provide for the family, but never complained about being tired. On Father's Day morning, Lucas got up extra early. He made breakfast with a little help from his mom and carried the tray to his father's bedroom. "Happy Father's Day, Dad," he said as his father blinked awake in surprise. "What's all this?" his father asked, sitting up and smiling at the slightly burnt toast and wobbly eggs. "Just a small thank you," Lucas said, placing the tray across his father's lap. Beside the plate was a handmade card. On the front, Lucas had drawn his father wearing a cape. Inside, he'd written, "Dear Dad, thank you for being my everyday hero. Not all heroes wear capes or fight fires or save people in hospitals. Some heroes work hard at regular jobs and fix broken things and help with homework and always have time to play catch in the backyard even when they're tired. Some heroes make me feel safe and loved every day. That's the best kind of hero. Love." Lucas, his father, read the card twice, then looked up with suspiciously bright eyes. "This is the best Father's Day gift I've ever received," he said, pulling Lucas in for a hug. As Lucas hugged his father back, he thought he heard a familiar chirping sound from outside the window. Looking over his father's shoulder, he caught a glimpse of a small blue bird with unusually bright eyes watching from a tree branch. The bird seemed to nod once before flying away. Lucas smiled. Different heroes wore different capes, indeed, and his father's cape might be invisible to most, but Lucas could see it clearly now, and he'd never forget it was there. Later that afternoon, when the Miller family joined other families at the neighborhood park for a Father's Day picnic, Lucas noticed all the fathers differently. There was Ethan's dad, the firefighter, showing kids how to safely roast marshmallows. There was Zoe's dad, the doctor, patiently bandaging a child's scraped knee. And there was his own dad, laughing as he pushed Lucas's sister on the swing. Lucas caught Maya's eye across the playground, where she was watching her father help some children build a small robot out of parts he'd brought. Maya smiled and gave him a knowing look. They shared a secret now, the knowledge that heroism came in many forms, and that sometimes the quietest heroes made the biggest difference of all. That night, as his father tucked him in, a ritual Lucas had recently claimed to be too old for, but secretly still loved, Lucas asked, "Dad, do you think I could be a hero someday too?" His father smoothed Lucas's hair back from his forehead. "You already are, in your own way, and you'll discover even more ways as you grow. The most important thing about being a hero isn't doing big, dramatic things. It's about showing up, being reliable, and acting with love. Just like you do," Lucas said. His father smiled, a bit surprised. "I try my best. That's all any of us can do." As Lucas drifted off to sleep, he thought about all the different fathers he knew and all the different ways they showed their love. Some were loud and some were quiet. Some taught through words and some through actions. Some had been there since birth and some had joined the family later. But all of them were heroes in their own ways, and Lucas couldn't wait to discover what kind of hero he might become. Father's Day celebration ideas. 1. Han Dad's life highlights. Movie interview family members about favorite memories with Dad, record them, and compile into a short movie. 2. Walk in Dad's shoes. Day. Spend time learning exactly what Dad does at work or around the house. Try to help with some of his regular responsibilities. 3. Father-child skill exchange. Dad teaches a skill he's good at, and the child teaches Dad something new in return. 4. Dad's favorites. Day. Plan a day that includes all of Dad's favorite meals, activities, and places. 5. Family Heritage Project. Work with Dad to create a family tree, looking through old photos and sharing family stories and traditions. 6. Hero qualities. Listy, create a poster or artwork that highlights all the superhero qualities your father or father figure has, like patience, power, or fix anything vision.